Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the strategy and the code behind a platform that's aiming to be nothing less than the TikTok of the AI era. We're talking about ByteDance's Dreamina AI. So is this all just hype, or is it really the future of how we create? For the last few years, the whole AI arms race has been fought with words, chatbots, language models, you know the drill. But what if the next big frontier isn't about mastering language, but about mastering reality itself? One tech giant is betting its future that the next leap in AI is not about what we can say, but what we can conjure into existence with just a single thought. And that brings us right to their big, ambitious answer, Dreamina AI. The goal here isn't just to build another tool. No, it's to create a brand new creative ecosystem, a platform so easy to use that literally anyone can become a visual storyteller. They're trying to build the TikTok for this new AI-powered generation. So, first up, the next TikTok for AI. To really get what Dreamina's mission is all about, we have to understand the huge strategic pivot that made it happen. See, this wasn't just a new product launch, it was a radical shift away from a technology that was, well, hitting a wall, and a bold leap towards a whole new visually driven world. So why the big pivot? Well, ByteDance basically saw the writing on the wall. Their chatbots were plateauing, The novelty was starting to wear off. So they brought in a real heavy hitter, Kelly Zhang, the former CEO of Douyin, to lead a new internal startup. The mission was simple, build the next big thing. And the strategy? Honestly, it was brilliant. They decided not to make users learn a whole new tool. Instead, they seamlessly plugged Dreamina's power right into CapCut, their super popular video editor. It makes AI creation feel just like adding another filter or effect. All right, section 2, inside the Dream Engine. So what's actually powering this visual revolution? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the two core models that make Dreamina tick, SeeDream and Seedance. This is where the real magic is happening. First up, we've got SeeDream 5.0, the image generator. But this isn't just about making pretty pictures. It's built on what they call an intelligence-first framework. And what's the goal? Well, it's for the AI to not just see keywords like sunset and beach, but to understand the physics of light, the rules of composition, and the whole vibe of that scene, just like a professional photographer would. So how does it get this deep understanding? Well, it's kind of like a 4-part secret sauce. It has this dynamic aesthetic score to make sure the composition looks good, and physics-aware lighting for that incredible realism. But the real game changer? It's the web search integration. This is actually the first image model that can actively Google stuff as it works. That means it can generate images based on today's news or the latest viral meme. It's an AI with its finger right on the pulse of the internet. This chart just shows how far the model has come in such a short time. See, version 4.0 was all about speed, then 4.5 shifted the focus to aesthetics, making things look good. But with 5.0, we're seeing this massive leap into actual reasoning. Just look at the prompt adherence, 98%. And of course, there's that game-changing web search capability. It's an evolution from just being a tool to being a real creative partner. But, static images are only half the story. The real revolution here is in video. So let's meet Seedance 2.0. This is the second engine in Dreamina's core, and they're basically positioning it as a virtual director that fits right in your pocket. Seedance is really all about making production fast and easy. Its whole architecture trains on audio and video at the same time, so lip syncing is baked right in, not just tacked on later. It even has a grasp of basic physics, so your characters don't do weird, glitchy things that defy gravity. And with its multi-shot generation and that @reference system, you can keep a character looking the same across an entire scene. And get this, it can spit out a clip in under a minute. It is built for the speed of social media. All right, section 3, Clash of the AI Titans. Now, with this kind of power, Dreamina is not just working in a bubble. It's stepping right into the ring with the biggest names in AI. So let's see how Dreamina really stacks up against the competition. Right now, the AI video world is really defined by this one fundamental trade-off, speed versus cinema. Seedance is built for the rapid-fire pace of social media, so it prioritizes character consistency and super quick generation. On the other hand, you have OpenAI's Sora, its biggest rival. Sora is chasing that cinematic realism, creating these absolutely breathtaking, complex scenes that take longer to make but really push the boundaries of what's possible. And here's the tale of the tape. You can really see the different philosophies at play here. Seedance is the speed demon, right? And it has that native audio sync.
Sora pushes for longer clips, but you sacrifice some speed and character consistency. Then there's Google's VO, which kind of lands somewhere in the middle. So it's not really about which tool is best, it's about which tool is right for the job you're trying to do.
Next up, Section 4, Power, Price, and Piracy. Look, this kind of disruptive tech always comes with a whole new set of questions about cost, about access, and of course, the really thorny issue of copyright. So how much does it cost to wield all this power? Well, the platform runs on a credit-based subscription. There's a pretty generous free tier for casual users to just play around with, but if you want professional level output, no watermarks, higher priority, you're looking at paid plans that scale up with whatever your creative needs are. And the legal battle? It didn't wait around. I mean, on the very first day Seedance 2.0 was available to the public, the Motion Picture Association, Hollywood's really powerful lobbying arm, filed a lawsuit. They accused ByteDance of training its AI on a massive trove of copyrighted material without getting permission. And this quote from the MPA's CEO, Charles Rifkin, it really gets to the heart of this huge conflict in the generative AI era. On one side, you have the tech companies, and they argue that training on publicly available data is fair use. And on the other, you have the creative industries, who see it as maybe the largest-scale copyright infringement in history. This is a battle that is absolutely going to define the future of creativity.
Okay, Section 5, the new creative reality. So let's move beyond the courtroom drama and the tech specs. What does all this actually mean for creators out there in the real world? How is Dreamina actually being used today?
Well, let's take e-commerce. The traditional product photo shoot, with its expensive studios, models, photographers, it's being completely turned on its head. Now it's a super simple 3-step process. Upload a picture of your product, describe the scene you want, and boom, generate a professional quality image in just a few seconds.
And the impact stretches way beyond just online shopping. Indie game developers can now create entire worlds on a shoestring budget. Teachers can bring really complex subjects to life with custom visuals. Marketers can go from a concept to a full campaign in just a fraction of the time. What we're seeing here is the democratization of professional-grade creative power. Finally, Section 6, Building Tomorrow's Worlds. So what's the end game here? Where is all of this actually heading? The ambition isn't just to create better images and videos. The real goal is something way more profound, the ability to simulate reality itself. This is really the holy grail of generative AI, universal world models. We're talking about an AI that doesn't just create an image of a ball falling, it actually understands gravity. It doesn't just generate a character walking, it understands things like momentum and friction. The goal isn't just to imitate reality, but to build completely new ones from the ground up with their own consistent rules and logic. And that leaves us with a final, pretty profound question for the future we're all building together. As the power to create entire worlds becomes accessible to everyone, not just massive corporations, whose rules are we going to choose to live by? It's a brand new creative frontier, and the map, well, it has yet to be drawn.